Labour's plot to make millions tax prisoners in their own home is a video I'd done just over a week ago. It got a tremendous revolt and opinion. I'm not going to go too much depth of that video here on this video because you can watch it here. But basically they were saying about there's a massive black hole left from the Conservative Party. So they're trying to look at measures where they can bring in taxes. And one of those taxes was on homeowners and wealth. And the implications of that is a lot of people are asset rich but cash poor. Like they bought a house, pensioners bought a house 50 years ago when it was well in line with their wages, and house price growth has gone up massively. So in this video, I'm not going to touch on that too much again. I'm going to go over some of the possible reasons that I feel this may be. I'd love to hear in the comments what you think it may be, but I'm going to go over some of the reasons what I feel it could be a cause of, like things like immigration. Like, so I am definitely not racist. My dad is from the Caribbean, come over from Dominica, I think in the 50s or 60s. I'm mixed race, my mum's white English. So I'm not racist. And obviously if there wasn't some sort of immigration system, I wouldn't be here because my dad wouldn't have been here. And I do believe we do need immigration. But when you look at articles like this, so this is in The Guardian, like the cost of housing asylum seekers in hotels raised to 8 million per day. So we've got a 22 billion black hole. And they're talking about taxing prisoners. They're talking about taking away heating allowances from pensioners. They're talking about doing all these measures. They're talking about trying to rescue the housing market, landlordism, and taxing landlords, because this is going to help the housing market. But let's just dig beneath this a little bit more. And I'd love to hear your opinions, but this is my thoughts on this. So record numbers of migrants crossed the channel into the UK over the last year or so, and migrants add 685,000 to the UK population last year alone. If we look at this chart here, you can see the net migration figures. And at the moment, ultimately, as a result of Britain's taxation, like, tell me if I'm wrong, like their approach is to win votes. We'll tax the rich and we'll give to the poor, like Robin Hood. And ultimately what is happening here is they're taxing the middle class massively. They're trying to now tax the rich. And as a result, with the migration of millionaires leaving the UK at a pace that has never happened before, it's estimated by Forbes magazine that over 500,000 millionaires will leave the UK by 2028. And we're getting 500,000 millionaires leave, and we're getting over 500,000 asylum seekers come into the UK at the same hand. And look, I'm not being racist, as I said, and I actually support, I do believe some people need asylum. My views on this, it needs to be the stricter. But ultimately, if you look at the UK as a whole, what would you rather? Would you rather have 500,000 millionaires leave, or 500,000 migrants come in, taking from the system, needing more homes? So let's dig into this a little tiny bit more. And as I said, I'm not racist one bit. I actually support it. I believe you should be bringing migration in. I just believe it should be tighter, like countries like Australia, where they've got a bit tighter borders on this. Yes, definitely people genuinely seeking refuge. But when you look at a lot of this as well, a lot of the refugees that are coming across, especially the illegal ones, they're in France. They're in a good country already. Why are they coming to the UK? Because they are homed really, really, really quickly. They are given benefits really, really, really quickly. And as I said, a cost of the taxpayer of 8 million per day. And I know the back end of this, we work with social housing providers. They need homes, regardless of whether you like it or not. They just need the homes. It's putting a strain on their government. But the government should step in and do something about this instead of trying to take taxes from homeowners, pensioners, heating allowance, from landlords. Yeah, landlord ones. Obviously, I'm a landlord. You might think I'm biased, but let's have a look into the stats a little bit with this. So last year alone, council homes. So people always say, oh, you're the fault that there's a problem in the UK, you landlords. Last year, 29,000 council homes got sold or demolished, and only 7,000 were built by the government and by the council. 7,000. They're estimating we need 300,000 homes for the last about 30 years. I know we should have been building that. And over the last 30 years, we've been building anything between 100 to 150,000 homes on average, with the councils building about 7,000 per year. That's not 7,000 per borough, that's 7,000 across the whole of the UK. If they're losing 28,000 on average every year, then where is the problem with this? Without the private rented sector, people would be really stuck at the moment. Like, this is what I say to people in the comments when they say it's your fault, it's down to you driving houses up. When you look at the statistics as well, there's more landlords at the moment exiting the market than there is coming into the market. So as a result, the rents are getting massively pushed up. And had the government supported the private rented sector, the rents would have stayed a bit more stable and lower because there'd be more stock and supply. Had the government restricted the migration, there would be more supply. And again, a lot of landlords are like turning to this because it's hassle-free. The hassle you have trying to get a bad tenant out. Like, don't get me wrong, there is bad landlords. I'm not saying there isn't bad landlords. There is landlords that do evict for wrong reason. But the majority of landlords that evict tenants is because of them not paying rent. So landlords have had enough, and often a lot of these landlords now are just giving them homes over, and I've seen it at the back end, it being in the property industry, they're giving these homes over to these housing providers that are working with the government, that are spending $8 million a day to home refugees. It is taking homes out of the system, alongside landlords just giving up and just selling them out anyway, with the taxes, with the compliance, and all the pressure and the hate coming towards landlords. So what are Labour trying to do about this, a new government? So their pledge, like there was an article here that says Britain's today has got a backlog of 4.3 million homes. And I could believe that, because we've been saying for the last 3 decades we need to build 300,000, and we've been around 100,000 to 150,000, as I just said. So what is Labour's answer to it? It's like all the previous governments, all the way back to Tony Blair, they're saying we're going to build more. The reality is we can build more. When we come out of World War II, we was in the biggest debt the country had ever seen, ever. We just lost the reserve currency to America and the world leading superpower, and the country was broken, but yet they still built 300,000. The government built 300,000 council homes per year. So let's just check out Labour's math on this. So first of all, I think they think people are a bit silly, because ultimately they're saying, look, their pledge is to build 1.5 million new homes over the next 5 years. When you add that up, it's exactly the same as the pledge from Conservative, and all the government's recently saying 300,000. But they put it over 1.5 million because I think they think it looks better. But again, think about this. If the immigration coming in is 600 to 700,000 per year alone, and they're saying that they need to build 300,000 homes, where do you think this shortage is coming from of homes? Not just immigration, by the way. There's lots of other factors. People living longer, more people getting divorced, so people need 2 homes. There is loads of factors that push towards this. But the government, the responsibility lands larger on the government than anybody else. Their decisions, what they've done, how they've made policies, is really massively to blame for the housing market. Definitely not landlords. And this is what I say to people online. I say, look, if I had a gun to the head of the council and the government saying, hey, don't build anymore, sell off all your stock, destroy all your stock, so I can buy a few properties each year to help plug the gap that is missing, then fair enough, blame landlords. But we're not doing that, are we? We're just plugging a gap that's missing from council policies and government policies and the falling of them government policies. Like, look, Germany and France have got a very, very similar economy to us, very similar populations to us, and both of them all the way throughout COVID to this day have been building 300,000 homes plus per year. And again, I'll go back to this and repeat it. The UK can do this. We've done this when we come out of World War II. In the 50s and the 60s, we built decades at that level. So why are we not doing that today? Planning, bureaucracy, governments looking to win easy votes, not looking at long-term planning, because building an infrastructure takes long term. They're looking at 4-year vote winning decisions, not long-term decisions. So the blame gets pushed back anyway. But again, look, put in the comments. You think I'm wrong, you may disagree, and put it in the comments. But look, as I said, landlords are selling up. 2,000 households a month are exiting that market. We're seeing the highest impact on rent rises in the market like we've never ever seen before. And again, this is all mixing into one pot that's causing massive issues. It's also causing social issues and like civil issues, like with people rioting, as we've seen all these riots. I don't know, these government leaders are meant to have gone to Oxford and Harvard and all these best universities, but they're just not business people. They just don't understand really what's going on. They don't run the government like a business, although it is a business. Their answer to the business not doing well is that where can we print more money? Who can we kind of like harass and extort money? It's like gangsterism. Like if gangsters, like back in the 60s, 70s and 80s, the mafia used to go around and collect protection money from people. The government just go around and just force you to pay their money. It is just legal gangsterism in my opinion. But I'd love to hear your opinion. What is your thoughts about this and the property market in general? As a whole, I'm pretty optimistic about the property market because, as I said, if you've got 2,000 landlords exiting the market, that means there's more opportunity for the people that stay in the market if you learn how to navigate the market. I've been in this game since 2009 and I've never seen rent increases like I have to this day, and it's just wild. And at the moment we're in a massive buying opportunity because I've never seen prices so low because there's so much uncertainty. There's higher interest rates. They're not high, by the way. We just had a ridiculously low interest rate, an unrealistically low interest rate for a long period of time. So there's a massive opportunity to buy cheap. There's a massive opportunity to rent higher. So it's mitigating these higher rates anyway. And there is a lot of indications that the rates will come down. In my opinion, the Bank of England's opinion, and all economists' opinions, they're predicting the rates are going to come down. So I feel this could be a mix for one of the best buying opportunities that we could see for over a decade. So make sure if you are thinking of this, get yourself educated correctly and take advantage of this opportunity. If you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel. If you find my content useful, my wife's in my terms, my mission is to help as many people live on their terms. So please share it out if you found it useful. Hit the like button, comment below what your views are on it. Do you think this is all having an impact in the country and the market as a whole? Love to hear from you. But remember, if you don't evolve your ideas, you never live on your own terms. So evolve your ideas, live on your own terms, have an amazing day. Make sure you watch this video here, wherever it is that YouTube thinks that you're going to like next.